Today, we're going to take a closer look at AMD and some recent bullish cases on their data center solutions, which is becoming an important role for AMD. So more importantly, we're going to start off taking a closer look at what are some of those solutions and how they've improved over time, and also how they fare against competition. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for a lot of great links, and also check out my tech channel. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
So if we take a closer look at AMD stock price, is sitting at $81.57 with a market cap of $132 billion. If we take a closer look from its all-time highs, the stock is down about 49.62% as I am recording this episode. And if you are truly worried about valuations, taking a closer look at EV to EBITDA forward ratio, right now sitting at 15.23. I do want to say I own AMD and I am truly bullish on this company right now. And then taking a closer look at those valuations, I do believe right now is a great time to either entry or to kind of dollar cost average over time to increase the exposure of the semiconductor industry. Obviously, we've taken a closer look at some of the bearish cases for AMD in previous videos. For example, the overall kind of huge supply glut that's happening with graphics cards at the moment, and the overall kind of reduction in consumer spending can definitely affect this company's kind of stock price, especially in the short term. I do believe in the long term, we are going to continue to see strong investments by enterprise, by data centers in some of AMD's data center solutions. So for those not familiar with AMD, they do provide CPU servers, and they are now in their third generation. So this is probably their biggest data center solutions at the moment. They do expect some other solutions to become an important player later on, but right now server CPUs are the biggest. And we can see they started with first generation in 2017 with Naples, second generation with Rome, and third generation is the current generation with Milan and Milan X. And we can see how every generation more companies adopt these solutions. First generations, they had about 50 plus solutions. In second generation, they had about 500 plus solutions, and now here in third generation they have over 1,000 plus solutions. Just on the CPU server side, AMD believes that there is a total addressable market of about $42 billion, mainly coming from cloud infrastructure, but we can see enterprise is also a big portion, and high performance computing. And this kind of changes are already happening. For example, during their most recent quarter, AMD announced that each of their businesses grew by a significant double-digit percentage year over year. But one of their biggest kind of grower was the EPYC server processors, which we just kind of looked at, where revenue more than doubled for the third straight quarter. Here we can see another graph kind of showcasing AMD's data center solutions and revenue and how it has grown since 2019, which was roughly 1 billion, and at the end of 2021 is sitting at 3.9 billion. I do want to say in the most recent few quarters, they have kind of made a few acquisitions with Pensando and Xilinx, which are also going to increase this company's kind of data center solutions, and again, it's going to play a more important role for the business. So AMD continues to innovate with their server CPUs, and we can see the fourth generation should be coming soon, and I'll explain the dates. But the most important thing that I want to mention is first, third generation, I keep talking about it, Milan was heavily adopted, and I do think this was a major turning point for the company. And Milan had kind of two kind of main solutions, general purposes and technical. Now coming into the fourth generation of CPU, there are going to be 4 major solutions that this server is going to hit, and I do believe it's going to increase the amount of revenue this company can kind of grow over time. First, we start off with Genoa. Genoa is going to be launching in Q4 of 2022, so later this year, and I am super excited to see how heavily adopted this CPU becomes. Next, we have Bergamo, which is going to be available in the first half of 2023. Then they are introducing Genoa X, which will be coming in 2023, and Siena, which will also be coming in 2023. So as an AMD investor, we can see that there are numerous quarters and numerous kind of times in the years where we are going to continue to see even more growth in certain revenue segments as certain new chips come out. So how good are AMD chips? So AMD does power the world's most powerful supercomputer supercomputer right now, Frontier, and it was also the first supercomputer to hit exaflops type of speed. So I mean, if you are powering the #1 supercomputer, it does mean that your products are doing super well and they're super strong. AMD is actually also going to power Europe's fastest supercomputer called Jupiter, and again, this will be an all AMD post exascale supercomputer. There was actually a recent study by Cockroach Labs that shows that AMD EPYC CPUs are most widely used among AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud platforms in terms of highly efficient performance versus their competitor Intel Xeon chips. And normally when we think of AMD, especially in kind of the consumer market, because I feel like us as consumer don't really think of AMD in the data center market, but historically as consumer, we thought of AMD as the better price point, not maybe the best performance. And that's how data centers actually thought about it as well. Here we can see a quote from Cockroach Labs research that in past, we saw Intel lead the pack in overall performance, with AMD competing on price for performance metrics. Again, we've kind of seen that in the consumer market as well. But this year, both the overall performance leader and the price for performance leader were AMD based instances. So if this doesn't make you bullish on AMD and kind of the strength against its competitors, I'm not really sure what would. I am super happy to be an investor of AMD. I kind of talked a little bit about those bearish cases earlier on today's episode. So the most important for these semiconductor companies is to continue to kind of innovate, because there's always a competitor right behind you waiting for you to slip up. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.